Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Level 1 podcast, The Business of Racing. This is James sitting here. I got old Kyle Dager with me. Say hi, Kyle.
Hey, man. How are you?
Doing great, man. Doing great. How's everything been going with you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Staying busy.
Been good. Hell yeah, we have. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. People just don't know, do they?
No.
It's, how many times have we said we need our own TV show?
We've said that a number of times around here.
We really have. It's, it can get,
I think that show would take off.
it can get entertaining around here. Let's see. What's probably one of the most entertaining things that we've seen in the past couple of weeks here?
That's gonna hard to narrow it down.
Yeah,
to
it really
one.
is. Yeah, you got to be more vague, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll come up with something later.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, look, I figure we sit here and talk about last year, kind of get everybody somewhat up to speed. We're not going to go stat for stat, mostly because I don't have that stuff in front of me, and there's a lot of it I just assume forget.
Yeah.
So last year was an okay year. We ran quite a few races, did quite a few test days. Anything stick out in your head? Any one particular person stick out in your head that we had come through?
Probably not one person. We had a few interesting people.
We did.
I don't want to name any names, but
Yeah, let's don't name any names.
Yeah, we had a
but
few races.
We really did, man. We really did.
But we got through them. It's kind of more like a building year, getting ready for this year.
It really was. It really was. And hell, I'll just say it, man. Last year we just didn't have. I guess talent's the word. You don't want to say that, but we didn't have the right people come through our test days to bridge over to running races to help build. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We just didn't. That's just the reality of it. And it's not really anybody's fault. Just kind of the way things work out sometimes. We had some really good guys that had really good personalities and things like that, and that's definitely a plus. But for whatever reason, it just didn't transfer to results. And at the end of the day, this is a results business, so it just didn't work out. But like you pointed out, it was a really good year as far as helping to build us to go into 2018. But if you'll notice, really and truly, about every second to third year seems to be a big year. It's like you take a couple of steps forward in your program, and you're like, okay, we need a couple of years to kind of get our feet under us and get solid on this point, and then boom, you have another year where you grow kind of big, and we'll get into some of that. But I've got a guy we can talk about a little bit.
Who's that?
I'm surprised you didn't bring him up, and I'm not gonna take a little drink here. I'm not gonna name any names, but let's just call him Ice Cream Man. And you know who we're talking about.
I knew where you're going with that one.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. Honestly, I really don't remember his name, to tell you the truth. But we had this guy. He he came and did one of our test evaluation sessions, and to be 100% honest, didn't really set the world on fire there. But you kind of you want to give guys the benefit of a doubt, because sometimes they don't set the world on fire at the test sessions, but as you work with them going down the road, they actually get really good. A lot of it, honestly, is attitude and work ethic and things like that, and that he seemed to have all that. So he came and did our deal, and I don't know, I think we put together originally it was 5 races is what we were going to do, but when the dust settled, it was only 2. So we took him to Hickory, which is for you guys that don't live in the Carolinas, Hickory's still a pretty famous racetrack. Everybody who's anybody's raced there, they ran bush races there until the early 2000s, something like that. You can go on YouTube and find it. But so this cat shows up on race day, and dude, he's carrying, and you know this, the biggest damn Yeti cooler I've ever seen in my life. This thing was huge, and I'm thinking he's got some ice cream because he's ice cream man, and so I'm happy. But no, he ain't got no ice cream. He's got everything that he's gonna need for a grueling 35 lap race. He's got his bananas, his salt tablets, his glucose. I don't know if you've ever seen that stuff called GU. GU is how it's spelled. It's it's kind of a it's like an energy thing, but it almost has like a yogurt texture. But anyway, I think he had some of that shit, and I mean, dude, he was ready. I mean, this cat looked like he was getting ready to run the 600 at Charlotte. Yeah. I mean, he was going to be in for a long day, okay? And he puts... Okay, let's back up. This cat's never raced anything. Anything. He came and did our little deal, and we said, okay, we'll give you a shot. And, he walks out with, this, $2,000 fire suit on, spotless,
brand spanking.
Yeah. I think I saw the tag swinging on the cuff of the arm. Mm-hmm. Had his fancy hat on. Now, here's the thing: he had his fancy hat on. His hat didn't say level 1. His hat said whatever his name is, Joe Smith. Okay. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. But whatever, it's all cool. It's no big deal. So, he gets out there and goes out there and practices and stuff, and it's a little less than stellar, but he didn't wreck it in the first practice, so that's a plus. That's positive. So comes back in and and he gets ready. He goes out for the second practice, and it's kind of more of the same. But and I know nobody out there would know this, but when you race super trucks at Hickory, they race on scuffed tires that they own on their wheels. You pay a fee, and they do a blind draw. You draw a number, and whatever set number you draw, that's the tires you use that night. You bolt them on your car or truck, and you race them, and you give them back. You couldn't purchase new tires if you want them. Okay, so this cat is just he's just enthralled with the fact that he's not going to get brand new tires, and it's like, dude, and we priced the race accordingly, by the way, because a brand new set of tires is $700. So obviously, that's taken into account when we priced the race. And he don't understand. He just can't understand why he can't have new tires. And I'm like, well, nobody has new tires. Except for the late model cars, the feature class, they can buy 4 tires a week. And I'm like, hey man, look, everybody's in the same boat. And he's like, well, how do we know our set isn't worse than theirs? And I'm like, well, we don't. But it's the luck of the draw, man. Mm-hmm. We can get them over here and we can durometer them, we can look at them, we can measure them. And if we see something, a legitimate complaint that we don't like, we can take a tire back and get it switched. If we find a cut in it, or it durometers really hard compared to the others, I mean, way out of whack.
And they give you a set of 5, right?
Yeah, 5. Yeah, so you got 5 to play with, and obviously a spare, but technically they give you 5 so that you can play with those 5 and get the 4, your best 4 for that night on the vehicle. So I kind of get him settled down from that, and dude, this guy's like parking it in the corner. I mean, bad. But hey, you know what? That's okay. He's new. I don't, hey. So I said, hey, let's walk down here in the corner and let's watch the late models, the feature division. I think qualify is what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's just one car at a time. You can really see, hey, this is where the guys are lifting. This is where they're turning in. This is where they're putting the left front tire. This is when they're picking the throttle up. You can kind of watch this stuff. So he went down there, but to be honest, I just don't feel like he was really interested in it. Yeah. I think maybe he thought he was a little bit ahead of that. And then he brought his dad with him, which is great. That's cool. No problem. So his dad comes up to me and he's like, so how many pit stops are we going to make tonight? And I said, well, I hope none.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why is that? I mean, he was perplexed, man, you know? I watch this stuff on TV, and those guys make pit stops. And I said, well, you know, it's only 35 laps.
Yeah.
If we have to stop, chances are, our night's pretty much shot. So I'm hoping we don't have to stop at all. So I kind of talked him through that, and long story short, I think everybody can imagine how you ran in the race, and there again, that's fine. It's a it's a learning thing, and I expect you to learn. But when you can't accept that you're new and you don't really know what you're doing, then I can't really help you. So I don't really. I guess the moral of the story is that whole night represents a lot of our races last year.
Yeah.
Working with new, and there again, look, we probably 80% of our business is working with brand new guys, and that's fine. That's kind of our niche. That's kind of become our niche, I guess is the best way to say it, and that's fine. And I don't have a problem with it. Hey man, if you're a little slow in the beginning, you're a little slow. It's not that big a deal. Now 2 years down the road, it's a different story. But when you try to turn around back on me, that's when we have a problem.
Right. And I love working with like the new guys that come in, but they have to want to learn.
Yeah. Well, the problem, they know everything.
Right.
Why you want to learn when you know everything?
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not even smart enough to know that they don't know.
Yeah.
And not all of them. That's the thing. Not all of them. We're just talking about a select few.
Yeah. We've had some fairly good guys come through last year that were actually decent, that never raced anything, and they were there and they wanted to learn, and you could tell they got better.
Yes. Which, that's a nice little segue. That's exactly the reason that we added our new oval karting program this year. Is for, when we get a guy in that's green as grass, never drove anything, we can bring him in, we can start him literally at the bottom. And dude, these kart guys are no pansies. They're good.
Right. Yeah. I came from probably a good 6 or 7 years of just karts, and they race intense.
Exactly. And but we can put a guy in that program, and he can really, really learn. So that when we move him up to a full size car, at a big track, he's not starting from scratch. He does have experience actually racing. So, and if anybody's interested in that kart program, actually, if you're interested in anything we have going on, probably the best thing to do is go to our Facebook page. We can kind of control that. We have a brand spanking new website coming. We're probably, I'm hoping a couple of weeks from having it up, but it's going to be amazing. Our old website looks like a bag of ass.
Needs a little work.
Let's just be honest. It looks like a bag of ass. But, the new one's going to be amazing. And, we'll be able to keep the updates on there a lot better than in the past. But there again, the Facebook page is something that we can actually control and post updates and pictures and, hey, this is what we've got going on, that kind of thing. All right, so that's enough of that. Coming up this year, let's talk a little bit about what you're going to do since you're sitting here. Let's kind of bring everybody up to speed. This is my goal as a business owner, and we've talked about this.
Right.
We want to be a true start from the bottom, stepping stone driver development program.
Yep.
To the best of my knowledge, there's not another one out there. There's a lot of driver development programs, but they either race in one specific series or type of car, or it's all upper level stuff. Like maybe they run ARCA and truck, something like that. But to start a guy from nothing, zero experience, to literally be able to walk him through and have him race at the upper levels, obviously providing everything's in place, talent, that sort of thing. I don't know of another one. I really don't. So as a business, what we're kind of concentrating on is the karting program, the late models, and the ARCA program. And so you're at the late model deal now,
Yep.
and you're going to be stepping into the ARCA stuff. So to bring everybody up to speed, what Kyle Dager's got going on this upcoming year.
Yeah, so kind of like what you said, we're going to run a few super late model races, hopefully with the Cars Tour, maybe a few past races here and there, and hopefully get my approval. We're going to go run some ARCA towards the end of the year,
Yeah.
a few short tracks, maybe if I can talk you into it, a dirt track or two.
Sure. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm there, man.
But,
And like we've talked about, probably the most important ARCA race for us, and for a variety of reasons, is probably Indy towards the end of the year.
Right, yeah.
But hopefully we can get another one or two in prior to that.
That's the one that's definitely circled on my calendar with it being my home track, and that would definitely be a cool one to hit.
Yeah, and looking down the road at that deal, we actually bought a JGR chassis that's going to be our first, most likely our first, I'd say our first composite body car. And the plan is to have that car sitting at Daytona next January for the ARCA test.
Yep.
And go from there. That's all we can do. But so, super late models and ARCA.
Yep.
That's your deal. That's your story.
That's my story.
You sticking to it?
I am.
All right, man. All right. Well, I tell you what, I think we're going to have another one of our guys that's also been running with us for a while.
Yep.
Mark Davis is going to give us a little call in here. So I'm going to kind of check in with him and see, what his season looks like. And obviously, we already know.
Yeah.
But we'll bring everybody else up to speed. Mark actually lives in Florida, so his deal is a little bit different. He's going to actually run some races down in Florida. Obviously, because of logistics, it's just easier. And then he too is going to hopefully be getting his ARCA approval, and then ideally getting him in a couple of short track ARCA races this year as well, and see where it goes from there. So let's see if we can get Mark in here. All right, everybody. I think we got Mark Davis on the phone. Hey, bud, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. We got Kyle sitting here. You want to chime in, Kyle?
How you guys doing?
Man, if I was doing any better, I'd have to pay somebody. I'm doing great. All right, so just to bring everybody up to speed, Mark has been with us. Gosh, man, you've been with us for a while, right?
Yeah, I'd say, want to say 2012, 2013.
Yeah, sure. Hell,
I want to say.
I can't argue with it. Sounds good to me. So yeah, Mark's run some super truck races with us in the past, and I kind of filled everybody in before you came on that because of logistics, you live in Florida, that you're going to kind of keep doing that down there. It makes it a little bit easier. But looking down the road a little bit in 2018, looking at running some ARCA races. So that kind of sums up what the plan is for you, correct?
Yes, that's the plan. Run some ARCA races this year, and even some more super truck races.
Yeah, awesome, man. Oh, hell, man. That's what I'm saying. Now, just to kind of pat ourselves on the back here a little bit, just let everybody know the background stories. Both of you guys kind of came in the same way with us. You both contacted us, did test evaluation session, and then boom, now you're wealthy. No, you're not online, but you have got to run a lot of cool stuff, run a lot of races, and be involved in a lot of cool things. I guess my point is, both of you guys are about as blue collar as it comes. Kyle, are you rich?
No, sir.
Mark, are you rich?
Yeah, I wish I would be here.
Yeah. So that kind of dispels the myth that only rich kids get a shot.
Right.
And that's what we're about, man. I mean, we're a do it the old school blue collar way business, and we all grind and we all do what we have to do to try to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's the point that I want to get across to everybody. If somebody out there's listening, thinking, hey, I'd like to do that, but only rich people get a shot and blah 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 blah. Well, that's not all true. I mean,
No.
there's a lot of space in this business for people that are willing to work hard and grind on it, and make things happen. So, when does the race season kick off down there in Florida?
Actually just kicked off last week. The tow truck, super truck, they actually kick off Saturday night.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah. We get going here in about March. We'll be at Myrtle Beach, March 24th for the first one. So cool, and hopefully you're not, ideally you won't run too many races down there, and we can start looking at some ARC stuff. But
yeah, that's the plan. Run through them.
Yeah, how long does the season go down there?
They cut off in the middle of the summer. I think for about 2 months for the rainy season.
Yeah.
And then they cut off for the month of December for the holidays, and then they kick back off at the end of January and run. So they run pretty much year round, just about.
All right, cool. Hey man, well, I'll tell you what, we got about enough time for one story, and you can tell me if I'm telling this wrong. But we actually sold Mark our super truck that he and Kyle drove, and a couple other guys. Because there again, he's down in Florida. It's just a little bit easier for him to be part of our program down there. So the first night that you took it to, what's the name of that track down there?
417.
Okay.
Southern Speedway.
The story I heard was you wore their ass out by close to 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah.
Mark's like, yeah.
It was a big night.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what we do here, man. That's what we do. We make shit happen.
Name of the game, man.
That's it, bro. That's it. And then obviously you go out there and you just wear them smooth out, and then here comes the non-fans. And they want to fuss a little bit about your program.
I think they call those
That's
guys
all right,
haters.
Yeah, haters, man. Hey, man, look, haters gonna hate, brother. Haters gonna hate.
Right.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, hey, brother, I tell you what, like I said, we just want to touch base with you and kind of let everybody hear from you and get, your plans for the season and how everything's going down there. And hopefully, but you're going to be back up this way a little bit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
If nothing else, hopefully running some kind of racing up here with us, and then, the ARC stuff and all that. So everybody will have plenty of opportunity to keep up with, you're on Facebook. You guys can go out and find him on Facebook. We link a lot of stuff up to our drivers. So we'll kind of, once we get going this year, we'll keep everybody informed on what everybody's got going on. So, well, hey, man, look here, brother. We appreciate you being on. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you later.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Later.
All right, man. Well, that was Mark. Sounds like he's ready to go. He's got the Hater Nation going on down there. They're jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his truck was faster than theirs. That's a pretty good truck we sold him. It really is.
Yeah.
We struggled a little bit getting quality drivers in it here, there, and yon.
Yeah.
But well, dude, I'll tell you what. The very first time that Mark ever sat in that truck, and this is a truck that we bought and just kind of ran, and then we did a big redo on it and put the fancy low drag hubs and rear end and all this stuff here in, and the crate motor and all this stuff. But we basically bought that truck and just kind of, I won't say threw it together, but I mean, we just kind of finished it and took an old built motor and threw it in it and took it up to Caraway. Mm-hmm. And he led the first, by a half a straightaway, he led the first 6 or 8 laps. And then he, coming off 4, he had a bad corner. got a little sideways,
yeah,
and it sucked the second place guy up to him, and the next lap the guy dumped him. But it sounded like he's going to have a good time down there as well. So hopefully he can get them haters under control.
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Anything else you want to throw in here on this?
Not a whole lot. Just stay tuned with us.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be a big year.
Yep. Find Kyle Dager on Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
What's your Twitter handle? At what?
I think it's just at Kyle Dager.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Works for me. And we're gonna have you on here next week too.
Yep.
Right?
I'll be here.
Sounds good to me. All right, brother. Everybody at Level 1, thanks you guys for listening. Thanks for keeping up with what we're doing. We'll see you at the track.